haven't made one of these in a while, but I thought this needed to be said. So I'm just going to have a wee talk quickly about the situation that we're in and what I think we could be doing partially to rectify it. So first off, I'd like to start by reiterating the things we should already know, but I don't think everyone fully appreciates. So currently, we, whites, Europeans, whatever you want to call us, are a moribund race. And by that, I mean we're on the verge of death. I'll elaborate. So, the West, Western civilization, whatever you want to call it, it's not dying, it's not declining, it's dead, and it's been dead for a while. Currently, we live in its corpse like maggots. And our society isn't just corrupted from within, but it's also attacked from the outside. And these two things together, obviously, as we all are aware, is causing some pretty serious dramas. So, if it was simple, or something as simple as an enemy invasion, I'm sure we could deal with it fairly easily if we were a united society, a healthy society. But we're not. We're a debased people. We are far removed from any potential glories that we might have. And frankly, we've got to move on from our attachment to the countries that we live in now, because these countries, they don't serve us. They're against us. They push the interests of our enemies and they aim to destroy us. We need to create something better. And as a reminder, the West is already dead. What we're doing is, well, it's already built up its own funeral pyre. We just need to light the funeral pyre, and we need to make sure it burns, because from the ashes of what we have now, something far better will come. All of our institutes and institutions which we founded are being used against us. They've all been poisoned, corrupted, and we all, in some form or another, dwell within the sewer of modernity. Some of us are far deeper in this sewer than others. This festering waste that we call civilization, society. Some of us are up to our necks in it, some of us are just ankle deep. But make no mistake, we're all in a sewer. It's time to dredge that sewer. In order to do this, we're not going to have to only defeat the enemy without the people pouring into the country. Some of them are even born here, as a matter of fact. These foreigners, they're not only going to have to be defeated in some form or another, but we're also, and this is the main issue, going to have to defeat the enemy within. And by that, I don't just mean traitors. Yes, traitors are a problem, and they will be dealt with in time, I'm sure. But we need to deal with our own failures as a people, be it moral, physical, or spiritual. We're lacking in any kind of racial spirit, which used to be present within our ancestors and is severely lacking now, and you can see that. We're a society that's lacking in morals and also lacking in physical courage and perhaps even physical ability, all things that will need to be resolved in time. Now, this is something we should all know, but I think I think few truly appreciate the actual consequence of what inaction will be, and I'm just going to give a sort of a brief snapshot of what might happen if we choose to just sit on our asses and do naught about the situation that's happening to us. So, if things continue the way they're going, or even get worse, which it probably will, within a generation, maybe even less, we'll have reached the point of no return as a race. We physically won't have the numbers to come back. We'll die. And it won't be a quick death either. It won't be a quick death. It'll be a slow death. So, an example, imagine Rhodesia or South Africa, but far, far worse. Far worse. Your husbands, your wives, your sons, your daughters, your mothers, your fathers, your brothers, your sisters. Imagine a future where they're raped, tortured, killed, or worse. And that's probably the best outcome, frankly. There's far more in worse fates in store for us, I'm sure, if we choose to do nothing. And you, now listening, it won't be you that gets the brunt of this. It'll be your future generations, because we won't just stop after this generation. It'll just be a decline, like a very quick decline. Be like we're jumping off a cliff, but on the way down you're going to hit a few stones and a few trees. You're going to get kicked a bit. metaphorically speaking. This is the last call for us Europeans. There's nowhere to run. There'll be no second chances. We've got little time. Right now, we're at the edge of the abyss. Or we're going to take a step back towards our destiny, our potential glorious future. Or are we going to follow the lemons off the cliff and go to our eternal demise, never to come back from that? And if we go, the rest of the world goes as well. There'll just be a bunch of animalistic hards running amok with no respect for anything. Now, all these civic nationalist types who just going about more culture, well, they're not going to care about that. They'll be living in the ruins like savages. Imagine a future where some mystery meat character starts ripping up rare copies of books to burn for fire. That's assuming that the secret of fire hasn't already been lost, so he can cook a rat or some sort of insect for his dinner while he fights with some other brown-coloured tribe in the former city of London. Completely lost on them. They don't speak any recognisable language, just some sort of gibberish. I'm sure we've got that to look forward to. Now, one thing to bear in mind is that we won't ever convince the masses of this. We won't get the masses on our side in the way that a lot of people think we will. But and even if we were to, so what? So let's say like 80% of the country is racially aware. They're aware of the problem. So what? If they're not willing to do anything about that problem, that does nothing for us. We're in exactly the same situation, except people are aware of it. No, we need to lead by example. The masses, and by the masses I just mean the general population of whites, of Europeans. We need to show them the way, potentially a bit forcefully. You need to effectively reprogram them to think in the way we do. Now, this is all off in the future, but in history, there's only ever been around about 3% of a population who's ever resisted something or acted against something. So in terms of, let's say Ireland, how Ireland got their country, that was only ever a small number of people who actually acted. Yes, they had a lot of supporters, but there was only ever a small number that physically acted. We don't need much. We just need a good, solid vanguard of people. Good lads who are willing to really go the extra mile for the people. We need that. Now then, what can we actually do right now to get on the right path towards this? Well, I'm going to have to keep this a bit vague and a bit wishy-washy, but I'll try my best to give some rough pointers in the right direction. Firstly, abandon any change or any notion of change coming through system politics. It stifles change and it's a form of kidology. Now by that I mean, for instance, you voting every so often for some slightly more right-wing conservative. That's not going to get you anywhere. All that does is trick people into thinking they're actually achieving something when they're not. The system is set up to stifle change, to stop any true progress from being made. Don't play their game. We win by not playing their game. Again, I'm not going to say too much on this. You know, I'm sure people can read into this whatever they want, but better people have said more than me about this. So have a look around. But we aren't going to get anywhere serious. We're not going to make any major changes through politics, system politics. And frankly, we don't really have the time. Like I say, I reckon we've got about a generation, if that, before we're too far gone to actually physically be able to do something, even if we wanted to. Now, something that can be done is networking. So meet people. You can meet them online, you can meet them offline, but meet them in real life. And don't just meet these people. Form groups with these people, form friendships with these people. Form strong bonds with these people. There's plenty of lads and lassies online who always talk about how they're alone, but they probably live within half an hour of quite a few of the people that they maybe even already speak to online. Don't rely on Twitter, Facebook, or some other edgy website or whatever for your communications, because that can get shut down straight away, and it ultimately achieves nothing. Like, what are you going to achieve by liking a tweet or retweeting something? Not a lot, really. Let's be honest. We cannot just talk forever. We need to actually do something about the situation. While we're talking, the enemy is growing stronger and stronger and stronger, and we're getting weaker and weaker and weaker. Very soon, the men of talk must make way for the men of action. Again, I'm not going to say too much about this, but in short, get offline, get serious, and get organised with haste, because again, we don't have too much time. Now, I'll end here with a bit of a sort of a bollocking for yous in a way, in a friendly way. Stop acting like bloody donuts and have a serious conflab with yourself about how dire our situation truly is, and consider the sacrifices that we're going to have to make. Because we are going to have to make sacrifices. We cannot sustain our comfort forever. We're going to have to put the people, the race, whatever, that's going to have to get put before ourselves. And I don't think people have fully realised that yet. Life isn't going to be the same. The life that your parents has is not going to be the same life that you're going to have. It cannot be. If you want changes to make, sacrifices have to be made. Yeah, that goes without saying. Our situation requires far more than just a vote every so often and a few samey speeches and moronic marches. Get real, people, and get organised. Plenty of lads and lassies that you can meet. Get on it. So I think I'll probably just end there. Reading off some notes here, so apologies if it's a bit disorganised perhaps, or there's any sort of noises in the recording, but I hope this has been of some benefit to people. Crack on, get organised, and have a good day or evening or whatever. Speak in a bit.